I'm going to do this live. It's very, very important as I'm moving on to other things, but it's going to be relevant. It's going to be very relevant. I'm going to focus on Republicans in the Epstein's file. I'm going to start with President Donald J. Trump. Donald J. Trump. Folks, he had his falling out with Jeffrey Epstein in 2004. He was charged and then convicted in 2008, charged in 2006. On record, Donald J. Trump, before that had ever even exploded out, said he likes them young, shaking his head. The Epstein files, everybody, the Epstein files are all only about American victims of, yes, the island and Jeffrey Epstein's holdings throughout North America, out on boats, whatever, all of that. There's more than 100 American underage victims. All that's been released, nothing, I repeat, nothing showcases Donald J. Trump participating in any of that, going to meet with him on an island or private planes to his island or anywhere else. There's none of that. There's business dealings and Trump-related parties and social functions where he probably, and I'm only saying probably, there are many anonymous tips and allegations against Donald J. Trump in the Epstein released to the public and blacked out. Folks, understand this. Joe Biden's DOJ had all of this. Now Donald J. Trump and his DOJ have all of this. They've seen all the documents, unredacted, all of it. Again, we are only talking about American children, victims of the time, ages ranging, I guess some could be as low as 12. Again, it's blacked out. We don't know. That's just what's kind of been leaked over the years, but never confirmed. But mostly between the ages of 14 to 19 years old. In American law, most American states, the moral majority, 21. But there are 19-year-old states where age of majority is 19. All of that. There is nothing linking President Donald J. Trump to any allegations from any minor on any of that Epstein stuff. There are anonymous, and we can't confirm the identity of who said what, but it's definitely not the victims, not the more than 100 child victims, survivors of Epstein, his island, his holdings, his boats, whatever, jets, all of it, all his areas of activity. There is nothing against Donald J. Trump or any investigation or anyone claiming that. Sorry, end of story, that's it. That's all there is. No apologies from the Dems. If you don't believe it, CNN did a whole piece on it just, I think 4 days ago, where they say they go through all the people I'm going to go through right now, and there's more, and I'm going to be honest about that right now. Elon Musk is a piece of shit. Howard Lutnick is a piece of shit. Now, there's nothing that confirms they did anything. And remember, the 100 American children of the time periods, none of them have any allegations against Elon Musk or Howard Lutnick. The American victims, that's all these files are focused on in the United States. American children victims of Epstein's Island. That's it. That's all she wrote. Some could have been between 19 and 21 in that time period. We'll find out, but depending on what state they're from, that age range changes. You're supposed to know the law in America. Play it safe. Don't mess around under the age of 21. Now on Donald J. Trump, everybody. Was he a bad husband 25 years ago and earlier? Did he have adult relationships, maybe infidelities? Probably, with consenting adults. If Stormy Daniels is true, and that's if, but regardless, that was a porn star who made all of her career money out of having sex, which is video prostitution, consensual video prostitution. If that happened, it makes Donald J. Trump a moral, womanizing kind of guy. If married, that's between him and his wife, his marriage at the time. That's not illegal. If it was, I can tell you in my personal life, people would be arrested for that, especially in the sanctity of marriage. But it's not. It's not illegal. Nobody gets persecuted for it. Nobody. I don't know anyone. I know a lot of guys who've been victim of that kind of stuff, and they end up losing everything financially. And that's what we're getting into here. Bad Republicans. Howard Lutnick lied, took a position in the Trump administration, lied, disclosure. Did you go to Epstein's Island? Are you in any of that? Did you have anything to do with that? He said no. Well, the documents prove that was a lie. He actually went to the island and he had lunch with Jeffrey Epstein. What was it for? We know it's Pedo Island. Buddy, that's a critical fact you release. Elon Musk, what do we know? And this is it for Republican insiders, if you want to call that. He went there maybe, but none of those 100-some victims have implicated Howard Lutnick. Not a one. Otherwise, he would be getting indicted. Now, Elon Musk planned to go to the island, wanted to party there, a getaway with his wife, leave the kids at home, and have one of those wild parties. So he knew what it was. He knew what he was getting into, and he wanted to participate. Wanting to and going for it can't prove any criminal undoing. Is he a scumbag and likely a weirdo? Absolutely. I've always known that. I've never liked that guy. He escaped South Africa during the re-education program for all those apartheid regime loyalists, which his father and mother are part of. They ran away, escaped to British Columbia, Canada, where they got to continue on in that crazy mentality. Totally anti-American. He never got re-educated as a kid. He grew up believing in class structure and less than human being, savage class people. He didn't get re-educated like everybody else. His family is one of the wealthy ones who escaped. Set up base in BC, then on to Ontario, out to the United States. Gone. Always remained the same. A weirdo. A crown weirdo. First class. Always been, always will be. Don't trust him. Don't think highly of him. Never had, never have, never hit it. But all of that combined, folks, there is nothing on any of them concrete to get to criminality. That's the truth. Now, civilly, maybe, depends on what the allegations are, but remember, there were probably tens of thousands of girls involved in this outside of the United States of America and USA's investigation on equality of the person. Every other nation's children, who cares? Who cares? No other nation is doing any investigation because they don't care. They don't care because a lot of the governments were participating. As the records show, lots of royal families, lots of civil law socialist European Union states. Why? Because there's a whole pile of them where the age of majority and consent is 15. Disgusting. Right? I don't know how people don't know this. Research the country you're looking at. I've read every constitution of every nation in the entire world. And most of the federalisms, which are very few, there's five somewhat federalisms or limited federalisms, and then there's a couple real federalisms. Not many. I've read all those that at least constitute. That's why I say the others are limited, because they don't do their regions and constitutions. Divide the powers, but you're giving autocratic powers to people beholden to your crown. So is that really a federalism? No. Are people really democratic or free? No. And then, of course, you lose a lot of civil and human rights through that back door. And it's bad. It's bad. Canada, bad. Canada, we want to be European. So what? Age of majority goes down to 15? Is that it? Now it's going to be communism where who cares about women and boys? The government will decide? Yeah, free for all, right? This is what people don't understand. You should really look into the former Soviet Union, who has published all this stuff over many decades since the fall 89. Well, I'll say post 1991, the current Russian Federation has released a whole pile. You want to learn about communism and how bad it is? Russia's the greatest source. In fact, of all socialism, you can see the crazy of it. You can see the crazy, the inhumanity, the lack of respect for children's rights or just people's rights. That's where you're going, Canada. That's where you're going. You're already halfway there. You've always been. You've been you've been what's called backsliding against democracy towards that as your crown panics and needs to get involved in those things. So, folks, I've given everybody everything straight here on Republican insiders from Donald Trump, Howard Lutnick, and Elon Musk. That is everything involved with President Trump's administration, and President Trump is clearly completely innocent, the most innocent out of all the people listed in that. He just happens to be the most powerful person in the world, and you don't get any apologies from the Democrats who lied. They had all that open with their DOJ in 2019 and even prior. They had all of it. All of it. And what did they do? Throw it at Trump to try and corrupt his image. Like, that's so awful. But you see CNN come out with the truth now, even though damage is done. Howard Lutnick, that's damage on Donald Trump. You don't think Donald J. Trump said, hey, any of you got any of this going on? You better tell me now or you're not coming on my admin. But he withheld it. He thought, well, it's not a big deal. Yeah, so I went down. I didn't do anything. I promise you I didn't do anything. You still went to the island. You should have disclosed that. You should have been honest. Whether or not none of these victims name you or ID you as one of their attackers, child molesters, doesn't matter. You went there. You should have disclosed that. That makes you a liar. Elon Musk, total liar, fraudster, and the fact he wanted to participate. I'm not ignorant of all this stuff, people. A lot of people I've had to actually cut loose because the things I publish about these Epstein releases, Bill Gates, what could yet come of Bill Clinton, who goes way, way back, all the way back to 2001. And yes, they're investigating him. He's ordered to that commission because his involvement with Epstein predates a whole lot. Epstein Island, started in 1998. 3 years later, Bill Clinton's a frequent flyer. Think about that. People should know. There's lots of victims outside of America, guaranteed. We already know that with Bill Gates. Bill Gates ain't going to jail for many American victims. He's not listed for many of the American victims. But we know, and as we know about foreign Russian trafficked girls, they're largely drugged up, sexually raped over and over again. Inherently, all these diseases drugged up and usually end up in a morgue or bottom of the ocean. So for Bill Gates to be participating in that, he is an absolute pedophile. The interview we saw with Australia today, all you got to do is read the warning signs of a pedophile and listen to his interviews. They tricked him into outing himself. At least psychologically, he fits the profile to a T of a pedophile. You were into computers. Now all of a sudden you're Mr. Science, Mr. I love the world. I want to be in the third world and all these subject countries, right? Messing around with medicine and children, pediatrics. Like, you just want to gain access to children. He screwed up with saying parents, first thing he says is, I didn't do it. Then they start asking him in other terms about digital kids online on social media. Oh no, they shouldn't be on there under 16. But parents, I really have a problem with parents and how they raise their kids in life, and overprotective, right? Like, because you're trying to get access to those kids. You scream pedo, you're a weirdo. You scream it. He screams it. You don't hear Donald J. Trump talking like that. You don't hear others. Elon Musk has those markers. He's talked a lot about having all these kids, likes to have all these kids, talks about all this stuff, Christian values that he obviously doesn't hold to, but that's his image. And with children, it's like you and Bill Gates scream that shit. You scream it. And when you read the profile of it, those two scream it. They're weird. They have weird ideas over parenting and ideas over governing parental rights. That's a red flag right there. This UN Convention on the Rights of a Child and transferring the power of parents' authority over their children, the family unit, to the government, that's like pedophile legislation 101. America never, ever signed it, vetoed it. No Democrat or Republican has ever tried to move on that. So whether you like it or not, America's designed not to be a pedophile safe haven. Does child sex trafficking, all kinds of drugs trafficking happen in America? Sure, all over the world. The difference is the government's designed to address it. There's an avenue for you to go. That's why there is American children Epstein cases. That's why this is happening. Otherwise, nothing would happen. Hey, what's going on with Peter Norgard? Oh yeah, nothing. There's no investigation, nothing. Oh well, all water under the bridge, right? Even though he was more notorious running longer out of Canada and the colonial world, Europe. That's my video, folks. I promise you, in coming works I'm doing coming up, a lot of these things are going to become relevant. Very relevant to what we're looking at, and major events are happening in our world today and our country here in Canada. Scary, scary times. Not good. Not good at all. And if you've just missed it this morning, Stephen Harper on his own pulpit now. If you've missed it, Stephen Harper, former Prime Minister of Canada, on his very own pulpit. We have to move away from the United States of America no matter what it costs. Meaning, no matter how much suffrage and reduction in quality of life for all of half the second-class subjects and all the third class, no matter how much pain you're going to be put through. You're going to go from first world down to second to third world status. Third class, third world. But don't worry. Stephen Harper and his wealthy oligarchs, his 3,000 delegates, they're going to be wealthier than ever before. They're going to join Elon Musk in the world of wealth. Well, you're all going to go down into third world poverty. Communism. That's where we're going. And I cannot believe the stupidity of humanity today, especially Canadians, at what you're facing, what America is desperately trying to stop you from doing. And if you think that an incoming Democrat presidency and majority Democrat government, if that were to happen, I don't think that's going to happen. But if that even were to happen, they won't change a damn thing. And if you didn't know, it happened, all of this was already on the road during the Joe Biden era, even though his brain wasn't there. His administration was working on all of these things. And now here's Trump coming back with nuclear punch. Canada's done. And these lying crown thieves, to save their own asses and clean you out and run away with all the money, will put you into third world status. As long as they can leave you in a piece of shit communist regime and their bank accounts are large and in charge and they have access to all of the world for many of their generations to come, they're good. They could care two shits less about any of you. That's my video, folks. Share, share, share. Get it out there. Credible, real, 100% factual, undeniable, and in your face truth. It's just so sad that so many will fall for the propaganda of the Canadian lying media. Yeah, I want to believe. What do you want to believe? That you're an idiot? That you're destroying your children, your grandchildren, forevermore? This is the last generation. We're all living in it. In Canada, not world, Canada. Venezuela, Cuba. Whoa, you're well on your way. That's my video. God bless. Share, share, share. Get it out there. Bye now.